2006 World Series champion St. Louis Cardinals, and we were back at the Scottrade Center. We're at his home today to the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament champions, the Creighton Blue Jays. Happy to be joined right now with the head coach of the Creighton Blue Jays, Dana Altman. And Coach, an unbelievable game and a good effort by your team today.
Well, thanks, Travis. I really thought our team played hard and played very well, made a lot of special plays. Our seniors really stepped up and really had great tournaments, all three of them. They all three deserved the all-tournament team, and really happy for those guys. I'm happy for our team. They battled this year and overcome some deficiencies and some injuries, and it's really a good way to finish this part of the season. Now, hopefully things will go well next Sunday. We'll get a good draw and move on. You mentioned that leadership. Nate, especially in the semifinals tonight, just really seemed to take over. Did you say something to him before this tournament started, or did he motivate himself coming down here? No, not really. I mean, we talked a couple times about, passion for the game and helping teammates and that, but it was Nathan. He just decided to really be aggressive offensively and defensively. I think he's gotten more and more comfortable all year at the point, and I think that helped. But I was just as pleased with his defense. I thought his defense was outstanding. I thought he did a lot of good things. You look at that first game you got to play against Indiana State. You got to sit a lot of guys. They didn't have to play many minutes. Do you think that helped, especially in the semifinal and the final, to get them some rest? Well, it might have, especially with our depth not being what it usually is. You look at the minutes that our guys played compared to Southern, there wasn't any difference, but they're a little deeper team, and so maybe it negated a little of that deficiency there that we had by not having to play Nate and Anthony. I think they played 28, 30 minutes both games, so they didn't have a lot of wear and tear. You had lost 8 straight to Southern coming into this game. Was that a motivating factor for you? I mean, losing 8 straight to anybody has to bother you. Yeah, I mean, as a competitor, you don't like losing once, let alone 8 times, and so many close games in there that that we just weren't tough enough or weren't well coached enough to finish. And last time we beat them here was the final when we ran them out, and I think we upset them awfully bad when we did that, because they've been taking it out on us for 4 years. But in defense of our team, we've never played them. Very often full strength. Tyler McKinney in that first year didn't play in either ball game, and Josh got hurt last year. Nick Porter didn't play the whole year. So I know that sounds like making excuses, but we've always been just a little bit short, a player short, and the games have all been really close, and we've just come up a little short. But today was different, and I feel really good for our guys. I told them that, hey, all those games, it's 1 or 2 possessions. All we got to turn around is 1 or 2 possessions. Just, you look at the scores, they didn't get us too bad, and we had to figure out a way to get 1 or 2 possessions back and win a close one. You mentioned being a competitor. You've now never lost a Missouri Valley Conference Tournament championship. What's your secret? Well, I don't, good players. That's what your secret is, and competitors. And we've rid some guys awfully hard. Rodney Buford, Ben Walker, Ryan Sears, Matt Wessel. All those guys come in and had great tournaments. So Kyle Korver, had a pretty good string there of playing very well. And 2 years ago, Johnny Mathis really played well. So it's all about players making plays, and for whatever reason, when we get it rolling down here, we've had great success. I've always thought it was our depth, because we always played so many guys, and if we could get through that first one, we really had an advantage. But this year we didn't have that advantage, so it was just a toughness that our seniors provided. 3 seniors like that really gives you a big advantage. It brings me back. I remember sitting out in Fresno thinking, where was this team going to go? Was that game the turning point? Going to Hawaii, you had some success in Hawaii. Was that the turning point where you thought it's either going to go backwards or it's going to go forwards? Well, as a coaching staff, we were really upset. Our effort that night and focus was awful. And, I think the players really felt bad. We'd grown to a certain level, and that was unacceptable, and they knew it. So they just motivated themselves, and we played much better in Hawaii. But then when Josh broke his finger, there's another hurdle thrown up in front of them, and didn't know how they would respond to that. So they've done a great job of responding, and whatever's been thrown in front of them, whatever adversity, you know, we come back from Hawaii and Josh has a broken finger, and Ty Morrison, who we're trying to bring along, decides that the Graves' disease is too much, you know, and he quits and not playing as well as he wants. So, you know, that was a blow. You know, a lot of teams would have just threw up their arms and quit, but we had too much leadership, and the guys fought through it and have done a good job. One
final question for you. Do you sleep a lot easier this week knowing that you're in and you don't have to wait to find out if you're an at-large, or do you still just not sleep at all?
Well, I'm not a very good sleeper this time of year, so, but no, it does make it a little better, and it makes it better for our fans, and you know, this will be a big recruiting week. We're going to take a few days off, and so I'm going to get out and Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday do a little recruiting. But we'll bring them back Thursday, get back to work, and again, it's a long layoff here. We got to figure out a way to keep them fresh and keep them, you know, sharp. You know, and we've never gotten off to a good start, so I've done a poor job of getting them, you know, to start right. With the exception of West Virginia, we had a good start there, but we just got to do a better job, make sure we're ready to go, and it's all about matchups. You know, if we get the right matchup, you never know. Get a bad one, you know, it can be real frustrating, but hopefully things will work out for us next Sunday.
Coach, congratulations on another tournament championship.
Thanks, Travis.
Dana Altman on Sports Sound, presented by the Horseshoe Casino. More from St. Louis coming up right after these messages. We'll be right back. And when we do come back, we're going to talk about the Missouri Valley